You have said yes to everyone else for years, haven't you? But when's the last time that you said yes to yourself, to your dreams, to what you want in life, to what you really want in life? It's not too late, and I'm going to tell you why. Let me get my little notes here. It never was, and it's not now, and it never was too late. It doesn't matter where you're at in age, or whether you're older or younger, or feeling that somebody else got the dream job that you wanted, or any of that. It's not too late. Whatever it is that you really want to do, we were all born with unlimited promise and potential. That means you were born with unlimited promise and potential, and your uniqueness to do what you came here to do on planet Earth, to do for yourself. So rather than, because, and I'm just going to say, as women, a lot of times, this is one of the things that we do. We say yes. We say yes to a lot of things. We say yes to, we want to help others. We really want to do whatever we can. Look, the puppies are in the background. There's Feather. And we say yes to our own detriment sometimes. And so when is the last time that you actually sat down and said, what is it that I really want to do? What are my dreams? And how can I pursue that dream? So I don't want you to ever give up on your dreams. And I say that because you're here for a reason. You were born, again, with unlimited promise and potential, and that is still there. So maybe you have been feeling like it's too late. You were programmed to believe that. We're going to move right into self-talk, because that's what I talk about all the time, is the power of neuroplasticity, the power of your brain, the power of you, the power of rewiring your brain for the programs that are so importante to you to change your life. And this is done in a very passive way, by the way. It is not difficult to do, to rewire your brain. So what I say programmed. So what does programmed even mean? And what it means to get programmed is when you were born, and I've said this, and I will always say this. This is really important that you understand. You were born. Think about yourself as a little baby. You came onto planet Earth, and you were an open vessel. You had two fears. You were born with two fears: the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. That's it. A baby, you do this or something, it's like, or you throw the baby up in the air. These are survival instincts. Only two fears that you were born with, that any human is born with. The rest are learned. So any fear of being shy or being afraid or thinking there's lack in the world or any of these things, it's all learned. It is all learned, and it can be unlearned, and it can be rewired in your brain. And when I talk about rewiring, I'm talking about literally neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to rewire itself until you take your very last breath, until the day that you die. You were rewiring. This is why I say, don't give up on your dreams. There is no reason to think that you are unable, that you are too old, or it's no longer your turn, or that you have too much on your plate to really start to figure out what it is that you really want. So I wrote down a few things that I would think, and some of my clients have said, but I always put everyone else ahead of me. If you've ever thought these things, I'm always putting everyone else ahead of me. I've lost sight of what I even want. Have you? Do you feel like you've lost sight of what you even want? Is it too late for me to go after my dream? No. But have you asked yourself, maybe it's too late for me to go? Maybe you've just said it as a statement. It's too late for me to go after my dream. I'm in my 50s. I'm in my 60s. I'm in my 70s. I'm in my 80s. No, it is not too late. Please, please do not give up on your dream. And you were just programmed to think that these things about age and about that you don't have what it takes, or you will never have what it takes, or any of those things. I'm exhausted. I'm invisible. How many people, as we get older, start thinking, I don't need to dress up. I don't, no one's paying attention to me anyway. And, I can just put on my sweats and go, and who cares? And part of it is like freedom. We don't care. As we get older, there's part of it that where we don't need to feel that that we look our best. But there's also part of us that we want to feel beautiful and dressed and feel like we fit in with whatever it is that we don't want to look fodonga. That's in Spanish. It's just kind of like, I don't even know what it means. It's kind of like what my hubby used to call Jakey Pete. He'd say, Lynnie, you look Jakey Pete today. And this was a hobo or something. I don't really know, but he would always say those kinds of things when we were first together, because I had these Guns N' Roses earrings and a big trench coat from my great uncle, and wore that very happily. And so, and he'd say, you look like Jakey Pete. So in Spanish, I'd say fodonga, not put together, right? Just not looking your sharpest. And so, but it feels really good to, get your earrings on and put your hair up and put your makeup on and go out and not feel invisible, feel like you belong and you feel part and you feel pretty. And this thing about, I don't know how to say no, and now I'm paying for it. And I don't know how to get out of it. I don't know how to, I've been volunteering for all this time. How do I tell them no? I don't want to do it anymore. I literally just got out of something and will continue because for some reason I got into this this group that it's really interesting. I'm not going to name the group, but oh my gosh, Aruz, it's like at every turn there's a question as to why I'm not doing, I'm deciding to move out. And it's just it's interesting. So I'm getting really good at saying no and getting more and more forceful at no. But I'm not talking about something like that. I'm talking about like you're in church, you're volunteering for church and for the services, or for, making, helping with the baking for, on every Sunday, or any of the things we used to volunteer, which I loved. We volunteered at the Dominican retreat house, and I grew up Catholic, and my parents, they had us volunteering. The boys worked outside and cleaned up, and we served everyone. And my mom, I mean, every single Sunday we had a priest come over for dinner, and it was just like, I could, it was a lot. It was a lot on my mom. It was a lot on all of us. But I mean, there was a lot, and I know that, and my mom, it was just like she dreaded Sundays sometimes. Not the Dominican retreat house, that came a lot later, but she would dread that, and so would we. So there's a no in there, right? Because that Sunday could have been just pleasant. It could have been just fun days, and so I share that with you because there's all kinds of volunteers, volunteering in the schools, volunteering in anything, as coaching, as in anything at all, and it's fine to volunteer, and it's fine to give of yourself. But when people ask you for help, especially if you have an expertise that like you're a handy person, or you're a coach, or you're a CPA, bookkeeper, or any of the things, and people are always, maybe you knit or crochet, and you're always the first one that they call when they need help, and you are like, man, I should help. This person needs help, and you don't say no. And so what are you giving up, the time that you're giving up? What could you be doing with that time if you would say no and say yes to yourself, and say yes to taking the time to stop and dream, like, and actually get back to say, what did I want to do with my life? What are my dreams? Have I let them go? Do I still dream it? If you still dream it, by the way, it's still there and it's still very valid. If there's something that you've been wanting to do, a skill set that you've been wanting to achieve for yourself, You know, it's really interesting when Steve and I, a year ago, it's been a little over a year ago that we took our last trip and our RV trip together before he passed. And he told me when we were there, we were in Tucson and we passed this welding company, and he said, "Man, that I have always wanted to weld." And for his 71st birthday, I got him a class, a welding class. Of course, he wasn't doing well, so he never took it. But and or I had anyway. The point is, I didn't know that, and it was something he really wanted to do, like since he was little. I had no idea, and that was a dream of his that did not happen for him. So, what do you dream? What is it that you could be working on rather than saying yes to someone where it's really taking of your time and your strength and your energy, taking away from your family, taking away from the time that you could be saying yes to you and to the things that you want to do for your family, for your grandchildren, creating a business, doing, moving a hobby into a business online, or really taking cooking classes, or like Steve's parents, when they moved to Bella Vista, Arkansas, beautiful. If you've never been there, I think they had 8 or 10 golf courses then. But there, and I think they probably still have about that many or more. But they took the stained glass course, and they made all these cardinals and beautiful things, little hummingbirds that we would hang on our doors. And they would do these artsy things and really enjoy it. And they got really good at it. And, and golf, like my father-in-law loved golf. Steve loved golf. It's, but what is it that you want to do with your life? Do that. Take the time. Say yes. Say yes to you. It is not too late. And when I talk about the self-talk and programming, that the programming is that you have to say yes, or someone else can't do it. You're the only one that can do it. That is definitely a program, because if you were gone tomorrow, I promise you, everything would carry on. It might be a little different, might be a little more not as easy, a little difficult for others, but it would go on. The show would go on. It always does. And and I know I'm carrying on the show. Steve is gone, and my husband, and the show is going on. I'm still doing everything that needs to do. I didn't know how to do all these things. I'm doing them. So one, I'm learning, and my brain is growing and all of that. But two, the show is going on. So I want you to understand that a lot of times we think this, and this is programming, that we're the only ones who could do it, or that it's, if we don't do it, if we don't show up, no one else will. And that's okay. It's okay. So it's not that you need permission from me. What I would like to share is that you can give yourself permission, that you are running programs that say that you have to say yes, or you're the only one that can do it, or that your dreams, that you're too old to fulfill your dreams, or that something else, that you've lost sight of what you even wanted. Have you lost sight of what you wanted? Can you take the time to just journal or do whatever it is that's important to you, and take the time and say, what is it that I really want? So these are the things that, I let my dreams go. And when I rewired my brain and continue to rewire my brain almost daily, I've missed a couple of days. Recently, I've been grieving. I couldn't turn it on, the self-talk, and just true honesty. And 2 days. And then after that, I was like, wow, I've got to be listening to this. And I'm talking about it. This is an app that I'm talking about, Dr. Shad Helmstetter's app. And it's 30 days free. I have that in the description. And you can get 30 days free. And that will help you to rewire your brain. That's how I started. And so, giving up on my dreams, thinking that I was too old, that they were just, I would struggle. I would struggle in creating my business. I would struggle in doing what I wanted to do for the world. And that I'm too old thing did come up for me. And it's just like, I'm in my 60s and I'm not too old. I'm continuing and keeping on and doing what it is that I want to do. I'm right now, I'm doing what I want to do. I am helping people to understand the power of their brains, their self-talk. Yes, I'm a spiritual mentor and a guide. And so we are light. There's all other, you can go into a whole different realm, but this is the human experience. You can literally change. When I learned I could rewire my brain, I was like, which I already knew. I knew about neuroplasticity. I've been studying it for so many years, but I didn't know the mechanism. I did not know the how-to. And I did not understand until Dr. Shad Helmstetter, like how easy it really was to do it. So I just want you to understand, and I want you to hear me, that you are able to change your life. You are able to rewire your brain. You can rewire your brain with the programs that you want of a healthy self-esteem, believing in yourself. In fact, that is my mission. That is a huge part of my mission, I should say, to get every single person on this planet to understand the power of the brain and to help them to have self-belief, belief in self. Because if you believed in yourself, one, you'd have a healthy self-esteem, because you need a healthy self-esteem in order to believe in yourself. So it's really the self-esteem. That is the foundation of the self-talk. But believing in yourself, then if you have a healthy self-esteem, you are going to believe in yourself, and you are going to know that you are able to do absolutely anything that you put your mind to, that you rewire your brain to believe, to know that you have that self-confidence, that you are enough, that you're not in lack, that you can do absolutely anything that you focus on. Where you place your attention, where you place your focus, that's where the energy goes. And if you keep it there, it's incredibly powerful what you can do for yourself and for others. So this is, again, you weren't born with fear, guilt, or self-doubt. You weren't born with any of that. Remember, the two fears that we were born with, the fear of loud noises and the fear of falling, that's it. No self-doubt, no insecurities, no not being enough, not having enough, not being anything. You were programmed. No, this guilt, all of that, it's all programming. And you can rewire your brain. I'm going through my little notes if you hear all the noise here, the paper. But you can rewire your brain with the language of belief, confidence, and truth. You can rewire your brain with a healthy self-esteem. So you're not too late. You're not too selfish for wanting more. That's another thing. That's a program, by the way. You're not too selfish. You were just programmed to believe that maybe what you want doesn't matter, but it does. It does matter. And that programming, you can rewire it. Now I've explained it. The neuroplasticity, rewiring the brain. So when you do, you can stop apologizing for your dream, or you can start really focusing on your dream and saying, this is my dream, I'm going after it. No apologies necessary. Thank you very much. I'm going after my dream. And you start living it. You start creating your reality. That's how you do it. You set the goal. This is the skill I want, that I need, that will help me to get where I want to go. Or this is the thing that I want to do. I want to start baking or cooking or building things or doing ceramics or doing whatever it is that help you. Or maybe it's volunteering. You want to go volunteer for, to help the elderly or whatever it is in the prisons, any of that. And you want to do it, but you don't feel like you have the time. But it's a dream. It's a dream to go and help others. So, I mean, it doesn't matter whatever the dream is, it's your dream. So focus on that. I am asking you to please, please, please don't give up on your dream, and know that you're not too late. You're not too late at all. You were born with unlimited promise and potential, and then you got programmed. You got programmed. That little baby laying there in the bassinet, all swaddled up and cute and perfect, only had 2 fears: for survival on planet Earth. And then that little baby, you, got programmed by people who got programmed by people who got programmed by people who got programmed. That's how it works. But when you understand the power of your brain, you can rewire to the programs that you want, starting with a very healthy self-esteem, so that you can have self-belief in knowing that you can pursue your dreams, that you're not too late. So let me make sure I got everything first. It's time for you to say yes to yourself. And I do have a free training that I'd love to offer you. It's called The Power of Self-Talk. And it is in the description. So you can find that there and you can listen to that. And it's going to teach you everything that I've just been telling you. I'm going to walk you through this really cool presentation, story-like, and you're going to really understand how that programming happens. And you're going to go through like this little exercise, and you're going to see, just do this presentation, and you're going to see it's like, oh my gosh, a ruse. Like, I totally get it now. And then you're going to say, I am going to start thinking about what do I really want? It's not too late. And you're going to start saying, hey, maybe it's not too late. So, you can say no, that having lost sight of your dream, I had to go back and look at my notes because that's a really big one. I lost sight of my dream and then thinking that it's too late now. No, it's not. I mean, you see 70, 80, 90-year-olds who are learning new things. They're learning to paint. They're doing what they wanted to do all along and didn't get to it. They're dancing. There's so many things that whatever it is that's a dream of yours, something that you want to do it. It's not too late. So know this also. It's not a mindset. People are always talking about mindset. Like, you got to switch your mindset. You got to change your mindset. A mindset is a state of mind, and you can switch your state of mind. You can say all day long, oh, it's difficult. It's too hard. Difficult is a state of mind. You could just say, that's challenging, but I got it. And this, when I was doing videos every single day when we were in Amarillo last year, was it last year? Yeah. Yeah, we're already in 25. Anyway, in 24, when Steve, we got stuck. That's another story. Not stuck, but anyway, we were in our motorhome. Steve was in the hospital. We just went because he wanted to breathe at a lower elevation because we're 8,000 feet here. Anyway, so we went there, and then he ended up getting from the other hospital where he was at, he ended up getting a blood infection. So we were in Amarillo. So I'm just trying to catch you up on that little story. But that whole thing in Amarillo was, it really, I would go every single day and do a video. So you could catch up on that. And that was truly, it was how to find your purpose with the power of self-talk. And to understand like that you can find your purpose. And so you can go back to those videos and see, but truly just understanding neuroplasticity and the power that wherever you are, whatever is happening to you, that you can excel in times of change, and you literally can do absolutely anything that you want with your life. So I was talking about mindset, and mindset, it's programming. So yes, you can change your state of mind. Yes, you can change your mindset, but it's quick and it'll come back unless you change the programming, what's underneath it. You want to get to the root cause. The root cause is the wiring in your brain. Your brain is like a supercomputer. And what fires and wires together, the more it's repeated, the more that it becomes a program. This is why creating a habit, like it becomes habits, these habits, whether they be helpful and serve you or they don't. Like going to the gym every day, that's a habit that you create. Drinking water every day, smoking, or drinking alcohol, or whatever it is, whatever the habit, watching the news every single day, getting up and turning on the television and putting on the news, turning on the news before you go to bed. Like those are habits. Do they serve you? That's for you to say. I can tell you that that they're very, very negative. The news is very negative, and they know exactly what they're doing. It's repeat, 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 and it goes into your brain, and pretty soon you start believing it as if it's true. So it might not be true. Like you may have been told that when you were young that you could never do anything, or you were shy, or this or that, and then pretty soon it was said so often that you started to believe it, and you started to act that way, and then you became it. And now that is who you are. You can rewire that. You can rewire anything except fear of loud noises and and the fear of falling. So I guess falling through a parachute or a glide or something, it's a little different because you feel you have the power beneath you. But how many people don't want to jump out of an airplane or something of that nature? The fear of falling, it's a primal response that's our brains tell us that's not good for you. So I'm here to take care of you. And so all these fears are learned besides those two. And you can unlearn them. You can rewire your brain so that you can go after your dream, because it's not too late. So please, 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 go after your dream. Do what you are here to do, because when you're happy, then everyone around you is happy. You raise your frequency. It's beautiful. So I hope that is helpful. Again, the link for the power of self-talk, which I think you'll absolutely love, that little presentation that I put together for you. And I think that will really help you to understand. And then you'll think about this video and you'll say, it's not too late. It's not too late to pursue my dream. And it's not. It is never too late. You know when it's too late? The day that you die. That's when it's too late, if you want to do something here on planet Earth. So I want you to be able to look back and say, that was my legacy. In fact, that's one of the things that I teach as a life coach. I'm a self-talk trainer and a life coach, and I teach my clients to look back and say I'm 90 or I'm 100. How do I want my 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s? What do I want it to look like? Think about that. So when you watch the presentation, the link again is in the description. Think about that, and think about your legacy, and think about the joy that you'll bring to the world, to your family, to yourself first and foremost, but to your family and all those around you, when you just say no to what doesn't serve you or takes all of your time or doesn't feel good, and you just don't want to say no for whatever reason, which is programming, by the way. We talked about that. It's all programming. And start rewiring your brain and start moving into your dreams, creating your dreams so that you're happy and all those around you are happy, your family and your friends and your community. And then you're doing what you really want to do, and then you're really spreading the joy, and you're really raising the frequency of the planet. How's that? I love you so very, very much. I didn't introduce myself. My name is Lynnie Wennerstrom. And yes, I'm a self-talk trainer and a life coach. And I really want you to pursue your dreams and not to think it's too late. It is never too late. You can always rewire your brain. You were born with unlimited promise and potential. Yes, you were. You can do, be, change, have, create, become absolutely anything. Absolutely anything. I believe in you. You can do this. As always, shining my light to brighten yours, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and please share this. If you got any value out of it, please share it and share the link so other people can understand the power of neuroplasticity, the power of their brain. I love you so much. Ciao.